welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to live a healthy and happy life as a vegan.
Why are you walking away, baby?
Now, so many of my friends, also my followers, I feel like people around me in general are all going vegan, and I think for all sorts of different reasons. I think mainly environmental. Obviously we're seeing the devastating impacts of eating huge amounts of meat and the way we're kind of destroying our planet, not through just eating meat but all sorts of other things like consumerism, buying too much, being very wasteful. So a vegan diet is definitely incredibly impactful. However, a lot of people, if they're not educated enough, might not be balancing their plate in the right way. So I wanted to show you how to balance your plate right so that you can be vegan and still feel really good and be giving your body everything that it needs. So one of the biggest questions when you go on a vegan diet is, where do you get your protein from? Now, protein is actually probably one of the easiest things, I think, to find on a vegan diet, but that just comes from balancing things right. So there are 9 essential amino acids, and we need to have all of them. That's why we call them essential. Now, I think one of the best things to do is to combine things together. So combining things like rice with pulses. So things like lentils, chickpeas are really good sources of protein. You combine them with other ones like rice and quinoa, and you can get that kind of complete protein. Also, other things like tofu are a really good source of protein, nuts and seeds. But I think with a vegan diet, it's about variety and making sure that you've got lots of different components on your plate. I also love a protein powder. One of my favorites is Form Nutrition, a really delicious vegan protein powder, because some of them aren't that delicious, and that's just really nice to kind of boost my protein in the morning. It keeps me fuller for longer. I just love it. So one of the vitamins that often can be quite hard to get on a vegan diet is vitamin D. However, you can get that in mushrooms and also fortified cereals. Do you know what? Whether you're vegan or not, I would really recommend you supplementing with vitamin D, especially during winter months when you don't often get it from sunlight. So this is a really good thing to be having. It really boosts your mood. It's very essential for our bodies, and trust me, once you just kind of get in the habit of taking it every morning, it will just be so easy to implement into your life. B12 is probably the most talked about vitamin as a vegan, so it's something that you just can't get in a plant-based diet, and that's fine because we can supplement with it. So B12 is mainly found in animal sources. It's really important because it's used in the production and development of the brain, so we don't want to mess around with this. When you eat an animal-based diet, you often have a reserve for around 2 years, so don't worry if you've gone vegan and you haven't started supplementing with it. It's absolutely fine, but it is really important that you start doing that and implementing that in every single day. Omega-3 fats are also really important and very rich in meats and fish, but you can find them in things like chia seeds. Walnuts are a really good source. So just adding a sprinkle of these on your porridge in the morning to boost your omega-3s. Having lots of healthy fats, avocado, just having them in every single meal will help boost your omega-3s, which are really important for inflammation, for joint health, for beautiful hair and skin as well, so we've got to be making sure we're having those every single day. Iodine is also quite hard to find on a plant-based diet. This is really important for your thyroid and your hormone production. You can find this in things like seaweed and also iodinized salts, which aren't as common over here, but my family are from New Zealand and pretty much all salt has iodine in it, which is super cool. You can obviously get this in a supplement as well. Calcium is a mineral that often can be lacking in some vegan diets. Of course, we know that there is a good source of calcium from milk and dairy products, but you can also find calcium in other foods such as tofu, dark leafy greens, sesame, like tahini. I put on literally everything, so you can definitely get it. So make sure you're having like a nice bowl of green leafies with some tofu just to boost that calcium. I also find that a lot of plant-based milks have a good source of calcium. I know my oat milk that I use, Oatly, has calcium already added into it, so if you're kind of swapping normal milk for this milk, you'll probably be making sure that you have the same amount of calcium, and they often put vitamin D in there as well, so they're kind of like looking after you. They're making like smoothies and teas taste delicious while also adding that extra goodness. Zinc is also an essential mineral, and it's really important in wound healing but also in your fertility as well. So we can find this in MISO paste, in tofu, also in nuts and seeds. Pumpkin seeds are a really good source of zinc, so we want to be making sure we're having like a nice handful of pumpkin seeds, we're having a bit of miso paste like in our soups, just to boost that source of zinc. Iron is also slightly harder to get on a vegan diet because we don't absorb it as easily in a plant-based form as opposed to an animal-based form. But you can add things like eating iron alongside vitamin C to increase absorption. Things like kidney beans and other beans and pulses are a really good source of iron, as well as green leafy vegetables, nuts and seeds. And often you can be feeling quite tired and lethargic is a sign of being quite low in iron, so it's really important to be speaking to your GP while you're doing this to make sure that you're monitoring your iron levels and you're not getting too deficient. Of course you can supplement with it as well. I know that I find when I'm eating a more vegan-based diet that I get very anemic from it, which is why I often don't do it completely. But of course, for some people, when they really feel passionate about not eating animal products, they can supplement and just make sure they're monitoring. And I think it's really important to always check in with yourself, like, is this diet right for me? I do think that you can eat from the environment without going completely vegan. I think that there needs to be a balance in between there, because the most important person is you and looking after you. And I think sometimes we think that eating a vegan diet or eating a certain diet will save us or make us feel connected with other things. Remember that this is just one way of eating. There's lots of other ways, and if it really feels right for you, because I've got friends who are vegan and they thrive on it, it's the best thing that's ever happened to them. But I think it's just constantly staying true to yourself, like, is this working for me? Always checking in with your GP, getting your bloods tested, making sure that, you know, especially things like B12, iron levels are at an adequate amount so that your body is super healthy and happy, because that is the most important thing. So I really hope this video helped you and you can kind of take some tips from it to help balance your plate. So if you were choosing a vegan diet, whether it's now or forever, that you're doing it in a really healthy and sensible and balanced way. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye!